Alright everybody, this is a tutorial on adding sounds or editing sounds using your rendered movies and using sounds with rendered movies in Premiere. So I'm going to open up Premiere. This is Premiere down here, the PR one. It's purple just like After Effects, so just look for PR and Premiere will open like so, alright? And just like all the Adobe stuff that we've been doing, it'll ask you if you want to do a new project and you want to click on that. Yes, you do. You want to name the project. You can call the project whatever you want. But then down here under location, you're going to change that to your folder. You want your folder, you want your project to go to your folder, not this default one. You want to go to choose location. You want to choose your folder. Okay, I want to choose my folder, and I can name the project here too, just so you know, right? And I'm going to hit select because I'm selecting that location. Then I'm going to hit create, and that's going to build a project for you. Okay, all right. For some reason, it'll take you to a gallery right away. I skip all this and I go straight to edit. I'm going to choose edit because I'm going to edit a movie. And the best way to get this done quickly is if you go to the window menu and in workspaces, make sure you are in editing mode. These are all different editing modes, but editing mode gives you kind of gives you everything you need for what we're gonna do. So choose editing, and it should set to this editing layout. So kind of like After Effects, if you used After Effects, it looks kind of similar. If we look at this, here you're going to have the view where you are watching what you're editing. This is where you see a panel of settings for certain files and certain effects that we're going to be using. And down here is your project tab. It's kind of like After Effects where you throw everything you're going to need into a window. This is it right here, right? Down here is your timeline, where you get to control when clips start and end. Now, right now they're all blank because we have nothing in here. So let's go ahead and let's throw some stuff in here. So what you need to have for this is rendered projects from After Effects. So now I'm going to talk about this in two different ways because there's two types of students editing through Premiere and animation students. You'll be using Premiere to edit your animations and add sounds to them or maybe music. And my other TV editing team, they'll be using this to edit the kind of stuff you see on other TV. You know, videos with people and music in the background. So there's two ways of editing stuff in this tutorial, okay? Either way, the editing rules are kind of the same. If you're editing for other TV, you're bringing in a movie of a recording from a camera, not necessarily an animation. But whatever it is you're editing, just follow along with this tutorial, and you'll see everything's pretty much the same. All right. From my folder, I'm going to find movies that I want to put together. Here is a movie that I can throw in. I'm just going to drag it into the timeline down here. Just drop it in there. As easy as that. Is just drag and drop. Drag and drop. And here's another movie I want to put in. Okay. So now I have two clips in the timeline. Notice that there's 4 different tracks for video and 3 different tracks for sound down here. A means audio. Audio 1, audio 2 to 3. And then V means video, V1, V2, V3, etc., etc. Now, if I want these movies to happen right after each other, I'm just going to put them side by side. Like that, so they attach. So now I have one movie, and then I have the next movie, right? Now, there are a few things I want to fix, and that is why editing is important, right? There's a little flaw here at the end where my character, for some reason, disappears. See that? I don't want that to show. So this is where editing skills come in, right? There's a toolbar here with some tools, and there's a razor blade. If I click on the razor blade, if my character is visible here but not visible here, and I want to get rid of that, with the razor blade, I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to select what's left with the selection tool, which is the arrow here. If I click on this arrow, click on this section I don't want, I'll hit delete, and now that part is gone. But see how there's an empty gap here now? And I want to get rid of that gap. I can either put this together myself, or I can click on the gap and hit delete. It'll bring both edges of both movies together. So now I have two different. Now both of these movies start. One ends and then one starts where they meet. See that? With no flaws. The flaw is now gone. The character is disappearing. The little blooper is now gone. Right? Now, for those of you editing with Oiler TV, this is kind of like editing out the parts you don't want to see in a clip. Like you're just trimming those things out. It's the same thing. All right, and let's see what's happening here. Notice there's a thing here happening as well. This is basically the same animation. It's just in a different background. And so I want to get rid of that, see? Now, another way you can trim a clip that you want to edit. If you select it and if you put the time indicator exactly where you want to cut it, if you click on Command K, it's going to cut it. So Command K is the shortcut for cutting with a razor. And then with the letter V on your keyboard, the letter V as in Veronica, that'll activate the selection tool. And now I can select that little piece and hit delete and make that go away. And let's say you want to add a third clip or whatever clips you have. If I want to bring that in, I'll just make both of these videos visible. I'll find whatever clip I want to bring in. Remember, bring in the QuickTime renders. You don't bring in projects, you bring a QuickTime render. Let's say I want to add this to the project for some reason. It doesn't make sense, but I want to add it to the project. I'm going to drag it in here like I just did. Now let's see if I want to, maybe I don't want this blank empty space here. So I select it, I hit Command K. It's going to cut it. Then I'm going to select the part that's left over, delete it. Now, if I select this empty space, delete that. So now I have these three movies playing back to back. All right. So now let's say this is kind of dull and you see the animation and it's all good and ready to go, but there's no sound, right? So in the Google Classroom, I added a post on the stream for both Oiler TV and computer animation, where you can click on a link with the sound effects, and you'll notice that the sound effects are divided into categories: storms, trains, industrial sounds, cars, funny sounds, sound loops, right? And then there's also, if you go back, licensed tracks. These are licensed music that we can use. They're not owned by any popular artist. They're just royalty-free licensed songs that we got with our other TV account, with a website. And you guys get to use these however you want. And it shouldn't cause any problems when you upload things to YouTube or TikTok or whatever. But let's say you want to hear what a song sounds like, you just double click on one. Let's see. And it'll start sampling it. So there's a sample for that. So and you can sample as many as you want until you find the one that you like. But let's just say I like this one. Let's say it's sampled music for a good 5-7 minutes, and I really like this one. So you can right click with your mouse and download it, and just give it a minute or two to download, or maybe less than that. There it is. Now, what's gonna happen is if you're using Safari to use the internet, it's gonna open the music into iTunes right away, which is really annoying. So when you see iTunes open right away, you can literally just right click on iTunes and you're gonna hit quit, so it doesn't start playing the music automatically. Um, there's a way to stop that, but I don't. It's a lot of work. So so now I get to. You'll notice that the music ended up in a download folder. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the Finder. I'm gonna go to the downloads here on the sidebar. Look for my music, and then I'm gonna take that soundtrack and put it into my folder because it's mine now. All right, it's for you to use for your project. All right. Um, look for the song. There's the song right here. There's the music file. It'll say .wave. Okay. Some of them are MP3s, but wave is good. And I can add that to my project. Just drop it where the audio is down here. Audio one. Oops. Let me try that again. I messed up. There it is. So now this music is part of this project. And I'm going to align it to the beginning. So now I should have music playing with my animation. Right, so notice this is extra music here. Let's say this is where the movie ends. If I align the indicator to the end and I hit Command K, I select the audio, hit Command K, and I can delete with the selection tool, the arrow. I can delete that part. No, that's gone. That's where the music ends now with the movie. Okay. Now let's look for some sound effects. If I go to the folder here, the link that says TV, older TV sound. I know there's a fight scene going on, right? So maybe I'll find, uh, maybe there's some funny sounds I can use with my fighting scene. Um, I don't know what I would use. Let's see. Um, there's this boing sound. I can use that for something. So if I'll double click on that, it'll sample it just to see how it sounds. I think I can use that somewhere, right? There's some jumping going on. So if I download this, it's downloading. There you go. And again, it might open in iTunes immediately, so you just want to close that. Right click, close, or quit. Alright, so now that it's downloaded, I'm gonna close. I don't think I'm gonna need any of this anymore. I'm gonna close it. And I'm gonna go to the Finder here. I'm gonna go to Downloads on the sidebar. Look for my sound effect that I just downloaded. And I'm going to put that into my folder because, again, once you download it, it's yours and you can use it. And it's in your folder. So where is there's the boing sound. I'm just gonna toss it here below the music, right? And I'm gonna find places where I get to use the sound, where it's possible to use the sound. Maybe here when the other character topples over, the green one, I can align it to that part. Now to get closer to your timeline, you can, if you look at the scrolling bar, there's two circles. You can actually squeeze this and it'll get closer to your movie. So you can put it in the precise moment where you want to, you know, where you want to hear the sound. I think it needs to be here. Okay. So let's see how that sounds like now. There's music. Stupid. All right. A good thing about Premiere is that you can edit more. I feel like maybe the animation could be faster here. That little falling effect, I think, could be faster. So watch this. This is a good way to cheat on your timing. You can do stuff like this in After Effects, but here it's a lot easier. So if I cut the part where the character is falling, the animation, and if I do something like uh, right here, there's a button. If I click and hold this button, there's a tool called the rate stretch. If I click on rate stretch, or the shortcut for that is the letter R, so hit R on your keyboard. You can actually make this. If you squeeze it, this will make the animation go faster. See? And now I can bring this over, or you can select the empty area, hit delete. It'll bring everything over for you. I learned that from a student. See that? So now the animation is faster. I feel like it's a lot funnier. Okay. So that's what editing is. That's what editing is for. So you can fix everything. Anything that has to be fixed last minute can be done here. And again, take your time with this. Editing is a tedious task. Um, and when you are done, just make sure that your movies, um, end with the music end and the video ends. They end together. And one last thing you might enjoy here is if you click on a movie clip like so, and you hit Shift D, you'll notice that the edges will get a dissolve. What does that mean? It means that if you play it now, it'll fade in. Shift D, think of the word D for dissolve, right? Shift D will add those transitions for you. If I do that at the end, if I click on this and I hit Shift D, it's going to add it to the end, see? So now the movie will end with a dissolve. You can do that with the sound as well. If I click on the sound, but see here the sound has a beginning and end, right? So if I hit Shift D for this, it'll add a dissolve at the beginning, and it's going to add a dissolve out at the end. So you notice the music will have the same effect with the sound volume. See? And then when it ends, it'll fade out. If you do it between clips, like so, Shift D, it's going to add it to 2 clips. Okay? It doesn't always work if it's edited at the end. Like if this is cut and this is cut, you'll be able to fade them together. So you'll get an effect like that. See? See here, this little white dot means that there's no cut. This is the full cut, right? So if I select these two, it's only going to add it to one side. Command D. See that? So now, let's see how that looks like. I still get my dissolve, but it doesn't always work. Right? So I wanted to be aware of that. And then if you want to use the same sound again, you can Command C. Find other places where you think you're going to use the sound. And then Command V. And it's going to paste it wherever your indicator is at. All right. So let's say I have my sound effects. I got like a ton of sound effects in here, and I got my music and all that stuff. If I hit Command M, that's going to give you a rendering window. This is how you render. Command M, M as in movie. I know that in After Effects it's Control Command M. Here it's Command M. Okay, and the movie should automatically be set to its actual size, high quality 1080p. Um, if not, you can always just find it here, right? But it should be set to that automatically. Give your movie the last name, the final animation of whatever. I misspelled the final one, the final showdown, whatever you want to call these movies. Make sure that the location says it's going to your folder and not anywhere else. So this is wrong, right? So I want to choose my folder. You click on the link and you go to your folder. Call it whatever you want again, and make sure it's going into your folder. And you're gonna hit save. After that, you're gonna hit export, and that means here that this little bar means it's rendering. Boom. You're gonna get this blue sticker that says it's done. So now if I go to my folder, there should be a movie. Let's see. There it is, the final show. It'll have today's date on it. All right, if I open it now, just to see how it looks like. Now I can watch it with sound. See that? And that's how you edit something. You know, if you add sound and music to your animations, they will look more splendid, I guess, right? And then you can turn in the movie into Google Classroom when I collect it from you. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions with editing.